right, so we're going to move on to the commitment statement. So there are 3 types of goals that you need to create with your co-teacher, really guided by your personality test, as Erin said. So first one that's listed is a student-centered goal. So as an influencer, I like to create an entertaining and engaging environment, and I do that by having a lot of verbal practice, speaking activities with my EL students, and really that's not just my personality, that's best practice for EL. So knowing Erin and her classroom as the EL teacher, I might not have been aware if she incorporates verbal practice a lot in her classroom. So I right away wanted to make a goal about that. And once I talked to her about that, and I told her, I want to have an engaging environment, have everyone talking, and have a whole bunch of conversations all the time. She was totally on board, but needed some structure because of the doer personality she has. So my commitment was to create structured speaking activities that had connections to the standard, connections to the language function, and also keyword there was structured. So put together, well planned out. And my commitment statement that mirrors that is to make sure that I allow students to have those structured oral interactions in order to grow and learn the content on their own to some degree. As teachers, especially in maybe the secondary world, it's hard for us to give up some of that control because the content can be very high depth, and we feel that if we're not directly giving it, that maybe they're not going to get it to where we need them to get it. And so we agreed to come together on this, a very structured way of talking, but then also talking, and we can go around and make sure that they're getting where we need them to be without us direct instructing them. And then we move on to a co-teaching goal, and this really should connect to your strengths or weaknesses within your personality. So for my co-teaching goal, as an influencer, again, I have a tendency to really overestimate results and sometimes act impulsively. So because of that, I would make Erin feel uneasy at times if I wanted to make a change. So I had to commit to really following through and creating a plan and telling Erin what I would be doing exactly, and then following through with that. And as my doer, it's easy for us doers to say, I'm just going to do it myself. It's easier if I just do it myself, right? And I also really like to be planned. I'm a very planful, ahead of time kind of person, and that goes along with that doer. And so I needed to make sure that I wasn't micromanaging Jackie. If she said that she was going to have something done, then I needed to trust that it would be done by class time, instead of just saying, ooh, it's not done a week in advance, I'm just going to do it. So if she states exactly what she's going to do, keeping in mind that she tends to overestimate what she can do and take on too much. So if she keeps that in mind, I need to professionally trust that, and she needs to then have stuff ready by class time. And then as soon as that happens and I don't micromanage, we start building this foundation for co-teaching trust, where then we don't have to have these conversations, or we could change our co-teaching goal if we feel like we've obtained. And then for the last one, the relationship goal, this is specific to how you two are going to get along and communicate or build professional trust. So for this, we recommend you looking at your ideal environment, which is listed on your DIRT temperament survey results. Erin is a doer, so she likes to know that things are getting done. And one of the ways I could reassure her was by prepping in her classroom. So my commitment statement was I will prep majority of the time, if I'm able, in her classroom. So I'm not alone in my ESL office. I'm actually interacting with her, and we're bouncing ideas off each other. And then she can see that, that accountability piece, okay, things are getting done. And it helps with my feeling of she values the content as well as the academic language. When her first question about an assignment or a unit or whatever is like, what's the content point? And then I know if whatever she's going to do and come up with, whether it's differentiating for her kids or whether it's creating something for the entire class, that's forefront in her mind. Along with that, my doer capabilities sometimes tend to just be so task oriented that it's hard to take the time out for those personal relationships. And when we first started teaching together, we didn't know each other at all. And so I needed to make sure that I saw her as a person and not just a professional. So my personal relationship goal was to make sure that I asked questions at least once a day about a personal life. So about her husband or her sisters or what she did on the weekend, something like that. And it might seem pretty small and minute, but it's really important. So have fun creating your own.